the Fast Mode podcast series. I'm Tara Neal, and with me today is Şerafettin Acır, Director of Product Management at Etiya. Etiya is a leading global software vendor delivering CX-focused, AI-driven digital transformation solutions. Şerafettin joins us in an exciting discussion on how GenAI can transform BSS operations for telcos. Welcome, Şerafettin. Great to have you on today's episode.
Thank you much, Tara, for the introduction, and thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Okay, so today we will talk about how AI impacts the role of BSS and its capabilities for telcos. BSS, as we know it, has traditionally been seen as the engine room of telcos, right? So handling core sales and care processes together with billing and charging. With the rise of AI, how is the role of BSS evolving, and why is this shift so significant right now?
Yes, Tara, the role of BSS has always been mission critical for telcos, actually, to ensure smooth, safe, and reliable operations, but it has mostly been invisible to customers. So what we see that AI transforms actually these roles and it changes not just how BSS works, but what BSS is. And we are seeing a shift from BSS as a back office enabler to BSS as a dynamic intelligence layer, actually, that drives customer experience, optimizes operations, and supports monetization. So, traditionally BSS followed some static workflows like if this happens, do that. For example, if the customer is in segment A, offer them product B. And AI, and after that, especially GenAI, this turns into something adaptive and context-driven, actually. So instead of just executing processes, BSS now starts to understand, actually predict and optimize. And it looks at behavior, context, intent, and patterns, and acts on them in real time. And this is really important, in terms of driving customer experience, and we see a shift happening in customer expectations. People require more and more immediate actions and highly tailored, relevant offers and services from their provider. And what is more, actually, they compare telcos not just to other telcos, but to all, digital native brands, e-commerce platforms, hyperscalers, and taking the definition of competition to a new level. So there is also a huge focus in telcos on operational efficiency, with margins and resources being under pressure. And with smart operation and AI native BSS like Etiya's can reduce cost to serve by handling complexity and unique requirements intelligently and without sacrificing the service quality.
Well said. I guess you brought up a very valid point. Like all of us, we are customers of a lot of digital brands, not just
Exactly.
telcos. And we say digital brands like we buy things online and we subscribe to a lot of SaaS services and so forth. So yes, so we expect telcos, right, to be at least on par with these brands. So can you give us some real life examples and mention specific AI capabilities, from what you've just said in terms of telcos specifically?
Of course, for driving customer experience and operational efficiency, a good example is the digital twin modeling. So instead of looking at customers and services as static records, AI creates digital twins that deliver insights and predictions and enable telcos to run simulations and test strategies before go live. For example, Etiya's digital twin. So via this tool, you can test multiple scenarios like data or add-ons included in a bundle with various price points or different target segments. So you can ask questions like, what will be the business impact if we launch this offer? Or which customer segments will respond most favorably? And through simulations, you can instantly see forecasted customer uptake or revenue and margin impacts. And the beauty is that all this happens in a virtual environment, so without touching any production system or committing even a single dollar. And by refining and optimizing these products and target groups, you can minimize risk in decision making and maximize the overall product performance. And when you combine this digital twin with agentic AI, you move even further. And various Etiya agents like marketing or sales agent can use twin-generated insights and act on those autonomously with defined boundaries and without constant human instructions. This shift is really fundamental, and BSS is no longer just supporting the business. With these embedded AI capabilities, it is actively shaping how the company competes and grows.
Well, amazing insights. So, can you share a bit more in detail about how embedded Gen AI enhances customer experience?
Sure. The biggest change actually Gen AI brings to customer experience is that it makes interactions feel intentional instead of procedural. So with Gen AI embedded into BSS, personalization, it goes far away beyond simple segmentation. Offers are based on intent, context, and behavior, not just on what product the customer already has. Today's Gen AI capabilities are also much more advanced than those of early chatbots. With Gen AI, customer experience much more natural human-like interactions. Customer care across various channels becomes more autonomous and proactive, and the system does not just react to problems, it anticipates them. And from the customer's point of view, something important happens. They stop seeing processes, they see the outcomes actually.
Yep.
The relevant offers, the timely recommendations, and their problems are solved before they even escalate them. Let me give you some examples again. In B2C, traditional recommendation engines, they usually work with some predefined rules. They say customers like you often buy this package. Etiya's AI native and catalog-driven BSS works, very differently. And through a digital twin model, it analyzes the usage patterns of an individual customer, compares them with similar customers, and even brings in offers from third-party partnerships like streaming or gaming services. Based on this analysis, digital twin creates a hyper-personalized bundle that actually fits that person's lifestyle. And most importantly, it does this proactively. So instead of waiting for a complaint, like a customer running out of data, the system approaches them at the right moment and says, based on your recent usage, here is an option that will save you money and fit your needs better. When you go to the B2B customers, the impact is just as strong. Think about device monitoring or IoT services. A GenAI-powered BSS can monitor real-time activity across thousands of devices. And if the system detects a pattern that suggests an upcoming issue, for example, abnormal data usage or a device going offline, it can alert the customer before operations are impacted. At the same time, it can recommend optimized data plans or service configurations. In both cases, interaction goes far beyond creating or reacting to tickets. The experience feels proactive, relevant, and supportive, not transactional. And that's a huge shift, from in customers perceive the brand.
Wow, amazing, isn't it? I mean, this is something that we would not have seen even like 3 years back. But with Gen AI, we have this creation capabilities that enables the machine itself or the system itself generate all these innovative, proactive, campaigns and stuff. Okay, so yeah, so in terms of automation and operational efficiency, right? So that's another area in telco that we are all moving towards too. So what's the real leap Gen AI brings compared to earlier, just the traditional AI capabilities, especially in the context of BSS?
Yeah, to understand this, we need to look at what automation used to mean in BSS. Traditional automation was, mostly rule-based, rigid, repetitive, and great at handling high volumes of predictable tasks.
Yeah.
But the moment something fell outside the rules, it broke and
Yeah.
required manual intervention. The system doesn't know what to do. Early AI capabilities actually improved this a bit by adding some predictions, pattern recognition, but they still operated within fairly narrow boundaries. But GenAI now is in the game. It's a game changer actually. And because it's self-improving, conversational and context-aware, it can handle exceptions, ambiguity, and more complex tasks, not just the basics. That has a massive impact on operational efficiency and cost savings because, you are not just automating tasks, you are automating decisions. A good example is customer interaction in self-care. In the past, automation meant, routing a customer query to a matching FAQ page. It might help, but it was usually a very generic answer, not tailored one. With GenAI, now the system understands the intent. It recognizes the context and even the customer's life situation. So instead of just saying, here is a help article, just go and read it. Now it engages a human-like conversation and offers rapid and relevant solution. I will give you an example. Etiya had a recent deployment with a customer to improve their chatbot-based customer service. We applied GenAI-powered solution using retrieval augmented generation and LLM models. So this helped them actually to increase their bot-based resolution rates, which brought significant cost savings and customer satisfaction. With adaptive responses and tailored solutions, GenAI care solutions reduce escalations, shorten resolution times, and lower operational costs, while improving the overall customer experience. And that combination is actually what makes GenAI so powerful in BSS. As I already mentioned it earlier, efficiency no longer comes at the expense of CX.
Wow. So, you brought a very interesting word there, intent, right? So we know that, intent has been at the center of a lot of automation initiatives in telco. And right now with Gen AI and, you have an intent and the automation basically just uses that intent to lay out all the processes, take you from one stage to the other without manual intervention. So, that's really great. So, picking from what you said, so in summary, why is AI-driven BSS different when it comes to supporting business and strategic goals?
Actually, we are not talking just about technology in isolation anymore. As an AI native BSS and an agentic transformation means that technology decisions are directly linked with the business outcomes. One major area is faster monetization, very important. When telcos, launch their new services or ecosystem offerings, AI just can automatically configure pricing, billing, and policies, and which will dramatically reduce time to market. Another key area is the B2B and B2B2X growth. So, dynamic partner management becomes possible when BSS can onboard partners automatically, set up revenue sharing, and adapt the commercial models just on the fly. And another aspect, customer lifetime value, is the very important one again. With AI analyzing usage patterns, engagement, and billing history, BSS can predict churn much earlier. And that allows the system to trigger personalized retention offers, not just blanket discounts, but targeted actions that actually make sense for that specific customer. And importantly, all of this supports, of course, cost optimization without sacrificing the customer experience. Processes are now automated, errors are reduced, and resources are used more efficiently, which is very important, while customers get better experience. In short, AI-driven BSS turns strategy into execution at speed and at scale.
Wow, amazing perspective, and you described it very well, how, it drives business goals and strategies, and, how a tool like this would actually boost operator operations over time. So let's look ahead. I mean, we know that in the last 2 years, there's so much buzz about Gen AI. So where do you think Gen AI will take BSS in the next maybe 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, Tara, I believe that the direction is very clear. BSS is moving from an operational system to being a strategic business brain and a growth engine.
Okay.
And in the next few years, with BSS with embedded AI capabilities will increasingly determine how fast you can innovate, how well you understand your customers, and how effectively you monetize complex opportunities. Telcos who treat BSS as a strategic intelligence platform will be able to move with confidence, make better decisions, and turn data into action. Often before competitors even, they see the opportunity. And Etiya is supporting telcos on this journey with its AI native SaaS BSS platform with the most advanced AI toolset like digital twin, autonomous agents, and multi-agent orchestration. And we see that the markets and consumer requirements change faster than ever.
Yep.
For telcos, in order to stay in the game, the discussion around GenAI and BSS transformation should no longer be about technology. Rather, it has to be a leadership conversation about customer needs, differentiation, and business outcomes.
Fantastic. I think you hit the nail on its head. Basically, when you say that to a leadership conversation, I think that's what, we should all be aiming. It's not just a tool, a technology, but it also really determines the path forward for telcos specifically. So I guess, Şerafettin, that has been a very interesting conversation on this end. And I guess, we are at the end of our session. So thank you so much for joining us today in this episode and sharing your insights on how GenAI will transform telco operations and customer experience via BSS.
Thank you very much, Tara. It was a real pleasure being here.
Awesome. And so to everyone tuning in, thank you for listening. If you want to learn more, visit www.etiya.com and follow us for more updates and insights as we continue to uncover the latest in technology and telecommunications. See you in our next session. Bye-bye.